What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to take a look at a pair of sneakers that might not necessarily even have a release. I think you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, and I can't really hide it. There's one of them literally over my shoulder, but this is the Air Max 95 Big Bubble Quick Strike 2 in sail and metallic silver. You guys know what this is. These are the Air Max 95 711s. Allegedly. Okay, so you guys are well aware of the whole drama involving this particular sneaker. The lawsuit that 711 has went after Nike because of the image and likeness to, of course, their store, which then unfortunately caused Nike to pull this shoe from their website, as well as any other boutique or store that had a raffle or some sort of pre-release going for this sneaker. Who knows what happened with all these shoes? Obviously, they got backdoored to some people. That's how I got this pair. Is this a sneaker that is never going to see the light of day? Or is this a sneaker that will eventually release because maybe 711's lawsuit isn't necessarily airtight? Let's talk about multiple things with this pair. Number one, let's talk about the fact that this is just a really good looking sneaker. And I actually wanted this pair, contrary to popular belief, before the fact that it got pulled from the release date. I have never been a huge fan of Air Max 95s. I was way back in the day, and I will say this, the Air Max 95 Neon is one of my all-time favorite pairs. I just think it's a classic, and it just brings me back to that era of the mid-90s. But my favorite Air Maxes are the Air Max 1s, the Air Max 90s, and probably the Air Max 360s. I would probably put these either 4th or 5th. This is still a cool silhouette. I just haven't liked what Nike has done with them the last 10 or 15 years, to be honest with you. I only actually have, this is the third pair in my collection, OG Neons, and then a pair that I made on Nike ID, my Dipset pair that just says, "Ay," right across here. The materials are very premium, and I do love me some short-haired suede on sneakers. Let's get a better look at that all around. I just think it makes this shoe in particular with these colors just look so much better. Now, one thing that I will say about the materials is while I do like the short-haired suede, because of the way that the silhouette for an Air Max 95 is, there's like lots of bumps and movement on the sneaker itself. There's already some threads, if you can see, that are a little bit dangling and potentially with some water might get damaged. That's why this comes into play. Color migration, it says, due to the natural materials used in this product, color migration may occur. So Nike just trying to cover their bases, which, to be honest with you, is kind of funny because what's so popular now is distressed sneakers. Like Vans all of a sudden has become very hype, and a lot of those hype Vans are the pairs that are already coming pre-distressed. Of course, you know what Off-White with Virgil, rest in peace, his whole deconstruction thing was very, very popular. So I think this is just so people don't get pissed off if it happens with this sneaker, but most people actually don't mind it if they're purchasing a shoe that already is pre-distressed. Couple things that I really like about this pair. I love the tongue. Air Max 95s have one of the coolest tongues of all sneakers, I think, and I just love the colors on there. I just think it looks fantastic. Already talked about the materials, but I really like that mesh there all around. I think it just looks cool. It just adds to the coolness factor of the pair, and I really do like the shoelaces. I think that the green and white look fantastic. Comes with a red pair, but I'm definitely going to keep these. Fellow YouTuber Seth Fowler mentioned he thought it made it look like a hiking shoe. I guess I could see it, maybe because of the brown with like the fact that ACG generally would have laces like this. So he's not wrong. And that leads me to one of my biggest negatives with just the Air Max 95 in general. He mentioned hiking shoe. These are bulky, and I don't mean like this particular pair. Air Max 95s in general are just a very bulky sneaker to be considered a running shoe. I do appreciate that this is the Big Bubble version, which hopefully means they're going to be more comfortable than the traditional ones, but they're just a bigger pair to wear, kind of like an Air Force One And I don't necessarily like that. And that's one of the reasons why I have not been adding Air Max 95s to my collection. But again, this colorway and the materials, to me at least, made it like I just want to have this pair. Contrary to popular belief, I'm sure some of you think I only wanted this pair because of the hype factor. And I'll be honest with you guys, that was part of it. When they originally announced this release, I was excited. I love the colorway. I think it looks great. But I was thinking, let's wait and see, because right now they're sitting on StockX and GOAT for right around retail, which generally means they're going to eventually dip even more and who knows, potentially go on sale and maybe even show up at an outlet. So I blew it and I didn't purchase these in advance, just thinking like, oh yeah, I'll probably have an easy hit on the SNKRS app. And then they got pulled. And then the resale prices started to spike. And now they're sitting at about between 500 to 600 for bigger sizes. We'll see what happens. Again, a lot of what's going to gauge the resale sneaker price is if these ever do release. If they don't, then all of a sudden, anyone who has this pair has a one of one, so to speak. They have a pair that no one else really is going to have, because I don't necessarily know how many pairs got backdoored before they had to pull them. So it's kind of cool to own a piece that has never officially been released. I don't necessarily look for that when I buy sneakers, but I do like to have rare, more hard to get pairs in my collection. And this is definitely one that potentially could join that. Or if these do release, could just be like a GR that I personally have a lot of likeness for. Okay, now let's look at the insoles, because this is definitely one of the, in addition to the release date of 7/11, kind of like a dead giveaway that I would say that, yeah, come on, Nike. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, come on.
Now the question is this a pair that I keep? I do have a few pairs that I still have not worn yet. So I think this pair is going to join those just in case. And then if these do get a release date, then I'll make a decision what I want to do. I'll probably keep them. But if they don't, and they still sit kind of in that $400 to $500 ballpark, I'll keep them and I'll wear them. I do think it's going to look really good, and it's perfect for the fall, to be honest with you guys, because of the colors. So what's your guys' thoughts on this pair, and what's your guys' thoughts on this whole lawsuit and potential that this sneaker may never see the light of day? You know, does it remind you guys of the Heineken SBs or the Freddy Krueger SBs? Thank you guys so much for tuning in, for checking out my videos. I promise I've got more on the way, more reviews, as well as some more Beyond the Kicks one-on-one interviews with people. So stay tuned for that. Peace and love.